All right, we're back here at Corky's in Pomona. We're on our Prep Sports podcast. I'm Anthony Saranon along with Roddy Layton. And our second scholar athlete here on the show is Ellie Garcia. She's out of Don Lugo High School, and I think Roddy had mentioned it right away. The first impression is of all the accolades she's done in sports and all that. Just take a look at the Letterman's jacket.
Yeah, she's going to have to start putting patches on the inside. It's already full, and she's only in her sophomore year, so I don't know where it's going to fit the rest of your junior and senior year, because I'm sure you're going to receive more honors.
Well, we're glad you could join us, Ellie. Thank you so much for taking time out to come down here and get a chance to chat with you. Reason why we have you here is because we hear all about the wonderful things you're doing, not only out in the volleyball court, but also on the softball field, but also in class as well. And I mean, 3.8 GPA. You have the 1 AP class, and that's because you would take more. But I guess there's a rule that underclassmen, sophomores really can't. I guess they feel you overburden yourself if you do that. But I feel that you'd probably be able to take all 6 of them APs if you wanted.
Possibly.
And of course, Roddy, really familiar with the academic side with students. So, when we take a look at what her class loads are and everything, very impressive.
Well, I mean, just looking at her honors are impressive. I mean, all-league first team, offensive player of the year, all CIF. That's just in volleyball. Then we go to softball again. You're all-league first team. You're softball league champs. You go all the way to the CIF semifinals, and that's all done within your freshman year.
Yes.
So my big question is, what did you do in the offseason? Because typically people have a great freshman year and then they call it the sophomore jinx. But that's not happening with you. You're still dominating. What did you do in the offseason to keep that peak level?
Well, basically for me, I wouldn't say that there's much of an off-season. I mean, I have to work hard every single day and then just focus on my grades at the same time. So I would just say hard work and then keeping up with the sports even on its off-season to make sure that I have an even better season the next season.
Now, you said working hard. I know we had a chance to talk to your mom earlier, and she was giving me, a schedule of what you typically do in a day. Give us a regular, just an everyday routine schedule. I know, like last Friday, you said you had a real busy schedule. Walk us through what it takes to be a true scholar athlete.
Well, I'll wake up at about 6 a.m. and then I'll go to school, which starts at 7:30, and then I'll go to all my 5 classes and then 6 periods athletic PE. So I'll usually go to softball for athletic PE. And then straight after I go to softball, I'll rush over to volleyball. I'll practice for volleyball until about 5. And then I'll either have team dinners or I'll have to rush out to go to my pitching lessons or hitting lessons. And then come home, do my homework, sleep, and do it all over again. So.
And on the weekends, is that time to just relax?
Oh, no.
So Brian off the air is asking, how many hours do you usually put in to do your homework?
Ooh, that's a good question because it just depends on the day. But honestly, homework's homework. It's academics first, so however long it takes. However long it takes. So. Now,
I know during your weekends you were also going to different softball showcase tournaments. What are some of the showcase or what are some of the softball camps that you've already gone or visited?
I've been to Washington. I've been to UCLA. I've been to an on-deck softball camps with all the big D ones, and I've also been to San Diego State. So those are just a few.
Now, this is something that amazed me off the air. I thought for sure you'd be on a dominant, club volleyball. You're not. You're doing travel softball.
Yes.
And volleyball at home. Now, who are you playing travel softball with? Who are the coaches?
I play travel softball with Explosion with coaches Bobby Flores and Javier Olmos.
All right, that's right. Yeah.
And I mean, it definitely shows why she was 2017 or 2018 Mount Baldy League first team all league for softball. Also, the 2018 Mount Baldy League champs. So, did that one with a team. How did that feel to win that title?
I felt really great. I mean, as a freshman, most people don't have the opportunity to win a league championship or go that far in CIF. So I felt like it was a great opportunity for me to get better as an athlete as well as my team, like a great opportunity.
Yep. And even though softball is primarily what you like playing, even in volleyball, it's kind of like whatever Ellie tries, she excels at. I mean, 2017 Mount Baldy League, first team all-league for volleyball, SoCal Player of the Week for volleyball, and Scholar Athlete for volleyball and softball. So, I mean, seems like even though softball is primarily what you like, but Looks like you're hitting it really well for volleyball too.
Well, the thing that amazes me, last year she had over 200 kills. She's already at 167 kills this year. You have 100 more kills than the next person on your team. And if anyone's ever watched your videos, I mean, you're getting up there. You're spiking the ball off girls' faces. Are the other coaches, I mean, the basketball coach or the track coach, I mean, are they trying to recruit you? Because, you could see you have a vertical.
Yeah, definitely last year for the basketball coaches at my high school wanted me to play basketball, but initially I was not for it because I wanted to make varsity softball and I really wanted to focus on that. But this year I already made varsity basketball, so I'll be playing that on top of volleyball and softball. So, I mean, why not?
So a possible will happen, three-sport athlete. What happens when you have a volleyball offer, a basketball offer, a softball offer? I mean, you might end up in that situation.
We'll see what happens.
There you go. Good answer.
Yeah.
Now, speaking of softball, what number do you wear? And I kind of hear there might be a correlation in the family with that number, huh?
I wear number 16 because my mom was number 16, and I really look up to her in that sense, so I followed after her.
And now both of your parents went to Don Lugo.
Yes.
So,
and who's your dad?
My dad's Ellie Garcia.
Never heard of him. Never heard of the guy.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead, Brian.
I don't know. Some guy just joined our Facebook feed. A guy by the name of Ellie Garcia. So we also had a couple shout-outs by Liz Duquesne, Lupe and Bobby Ramos, and everybody's watching, getting a lot of thumbs up and a hey, nice job.
So if we were to talk to someone that really knows Don Lugo history, they take your dad, they take your mom, and they have you. Who's the best?
Who's the best?
Who's the best athlete of your family?
Definitely me.
It goes to you.
Definitely.
You took the best of both genes to have it come through.
Let's add to that. You also have a couple siblings that are coming up that look have great potential. Why don't you tell us about your brothers and what makes them so unique?
Well, I have two younger brothers. One's 11 years old, and he's 5'8". The other one's 13, and he's 6'1". They've come up with a great opportunity to play at Winter Circle Prep Academy for the Winter Circle Nights, and it's a really great opportunity for them. So they have the size, they have the power, they have everything that a big D1 athlete would need, but now they just need to put everything into perspective and really make it happen. If they want it, it'll happen.
Now, we were able to see Andrew and Brandon, right? Or Brandon.
We just saw a picture.
Brandon.
Yeah, and we saw them at the Montclair
game,
Ganesha game. And the older one I thought was a high school varsity football player that just wasn't suiting up.
Yeah.
And that's when Brian pointed out, no, he's not even in high school yet. You're going through this recruiting process right now. Obviously, they look like they have the skill set. What are you able to learn now that you'll be able to pass down to them later on?
Basically, they just need to work hard for everything they get. Nothing's given to them. They really have to just use all their tools that they have and the size that they have, the natural ability that they have, and they have to put it into perspective and use it. If they use it, they'll go big. That's what I tell them.
Now, if you don't mind, I want to go back to jersey numbers because Anthony mentioned you were number 16. Your mom were number 16.
And Ellie
yeah,
right
so they were both number 16. And last year you were number 16 in volleyball, but this year you're number 3. What happened?
Well, they couldn't find my jersey for number 16 from last year, so I had to be number 3. It was kind of, at first I felt odd, like I felt off, but I mean it's just a number. Same person, different number. Now,
has anyone looked in your room to see if it's in a plaque or anything like that, or is it
definitely not there?
It's just truly missing. Okay, I didn't know if you just already put it up.
For you, Ellie. Your dad was a head football coach at Lugo. He's coaching at Montclair now. College athlete. Your mom was an accomplished athlete at Lugo. Which one of those kicks your rear end more, your mom or your dad?
I would say my mom's definitely more on my tail. But my dad's always, he's inspirational to me because of everything he's been through. He played college football, so he's just really on me about I have so much potential just to use it. And my mom's just always on me the same way. I mean,
get a push for both.
Your dad's motto has always been "Why not me?" That came from his mom. So I got to imagine his to you is it better be you or it's got to be you.
I mean, same thing. I grew up hearing it from my dad, so I mean that's just my mindset as well.
Now you're taking rigorous courses. You're playing 2 sports, now going to be 3 sports. What do you do to have fun?
To have fun, I mean, that's all I've ever known since I was little. But to have fun, I go out to Friday night football games when I can. I hang out with my friends at night. And honestly, my sports are my fun. You know, like traveling, I get to travel a lot for softball. And that's my fun with my teammates. That's what I do for fun.
That's great. And I've had a chance to be a softball coach, and I understand the fun for that, and I like that.
Did we clear up what position you played softball?
I play pitcher primarily and first and third base secondary.
So I'm going to ask you a question before we wrap up, but go ahead. I'll let you finish.
Well, I was just thinking, I mean, all these great accomplishments that you've already had, and you obviously have a future, obviously, to finish your high school career, 2.5 more years of this, and then college. But to this date, what do you think is your greatest sport accomplishment?
My greatest sport accomplishment, I would say being the athlete of the week for volleyball last year, because usually you never hear a freshman accomplishing that. So when I found out, I was really excited, and I felt like that was my biggest accomplishment.
All right, so my final question to you as being a softball player, what would you rather be? Would you rather have bases loaded, full count, bottom half of the inning, you're up to bat? Would you want to be the batter with the 3-2 count, or do you want to be in the circle pitching a no-hitter in the championship game with somebody at 3-2?
Either or.
Either way, you're coming out good. You're coming out good. But before we go, just real couple questions. One, because you say you're growing up football, so I'm kind of curious, who are your NFL or college football teams?
Honestly, my parents never had a NFL or college football team, so I enjoy watching football, but I don't have a team.
So you grew up Don Lugo football. There's your team, right?
Oh, definitely.
But in all seriousness, you know, you will have several colleges coming at you from around the country, and I'm sure for multiple sports. What are you looking for when you sit down and say, I want to go to college?
When I look for college, I look for somewhere where if I wasn't an athlete, that I would still go to for academics. Also, somewhere that's a fun environment, and somewhere that I could have a lot of fun, and also it has to have a football team, because I grew up around football, and I could not imagine myself out of school without a football team.
Yeah, it does. Saturday football is pretty special.
You don't have to tell me. I went to Cal State Fullerton. We didn't have football.
We talked about that. We were saying how my daughter grew up with USC football and then UCLA football, basketball, and went to Cal State Fullerton. She's like, there's no football.
Fullerton used to have a great program.
Well, let's not go great. Let's say they had a football team.
They had a good. Ellie, I got a question.
Actually, Bill Bryan played there. I better say they had a great, during Bill Bryan's years, they were great.
You know, I've seen some of your dad's posts, and I've seen you sitting around with him as he's breaking down films. You ever considered coaching?
Absolutely. When I grow up, I want to be a teacher, because just like my dad, he really inspired me. He was a teacher, so I want to be a teacher. I want to coach just like he has, and I just want to be exactly like him when I grow up, honestly.
There you go.
That is good.
All right. Well, Ellie, thank you so much for taking time out to chat with us. You're our Scholar Athlete of the Week.
Did you get a chance to eat?
I will.
Okay. What are you ordering?
Probably breakfast, something. I don't know.
Okay, breakfast at Corky's. I love it. Twice a week I have breakfast at Corky's, and both times are at night. So.
Did you see what Anthony had today?
No. What did
pot roast?
Oh, that pot roast did look good. Good.
And some apple pie for somebody's birthday.
Little birthday pie.
That's right.
I'm eating a cookie.
I didn't feel bad because I was
Did you get
getting
any birthday pie?
Fruit.
Not yet.
There might be some left. I don't know, but you're welcome to it.
Thank you.
All right. Well, thank you so much again, Ellie. It was
Thank
a
you for
pleasure
having
you
me.
here.
Yes.
We're going to take a quick break. We'll come back, wrap up with our upcoming games in segment 3. You're watching the Sports Scene TV Prep Sports Podcast live here on Facebook, coming to you from Corky's in Pomona. Don't go away. We'll be right back.